Sir, please, I can make up for this.
Steve, listen up. I don't want to hear a word out of you. You failed. You keep failing. You haven't succeeded at all in anything I paid you to do. I only need competent people working for me. I've had a lot of them working for me in the past. You're not one of them, so get the hell out of here. I'm going to take matters into my own hand. I never want to see you again. If I ever see you again, I'm going to put you in a hole that you're never going to get out of.
Fine. I'll go to the Memphis troop with everything I know. Knowing them, they've already beaten the 7th gym by now.
Well, this is a fine kettle of fish we found ourselves in.
Hey, let's go, protect my balls. So let's fighting love. Let's fighting love.
How in the balls did we manage to end ourselves up in this dank place? Well, Alter, thou must know, as of our last adventure, Sir Spooky vanquished the last gym leader, and we had started making our way up north. You lost Sir Smiles in a Pokemon battle against a random trainer, so we forced you to train his replacement at the many dojos of those ninja trainers, so that we would have a powerful Pokemon for the next gym. As we continued up north, we ran into a suspicious-looking character who was abusing Pokemon in his laboratory, which is another way of saying he was some sort of necromancer. And then he sicked his goons upon us, and while we fought them bravely, they managed to overpower us and threw us in here. Not exactly a good place to be. Yeah, this doesn't look good. I mean, they took our Pokemon away. Spooky, you are aware I can generate the powers of darkness, right? We're not stuck in this place. If we're not stuck, why haven't you gotten us out yet? Because I'm waiting for the opportune moment, sir. What exactly does that even mean? We're locked in a cell. Yeah, Alter, if you can do something, just do it already. Fine, if y'all want me to do something, I'll do something. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Exposition explosion! Alter, why did you do that to the wall and not the bars? Also, why are you able to do that against random objects now? And also, why haven't you done that before, for the longest of times for that matter? Well, multiple reasons. One, the bars are treated to be resistant to Pokemon attacks, and number two, well, I stopped using Exposition Explosion on Steve since it didn't work, and, well, we've been doing our own story, so not really need to use it, but who cares? Let's get going. We got adventures to go, places to... Oh. Well, hello! It's that Garlic Kid from, like, way back in the way. Yeah, I remember. This is the Pokemon that was releasing Pokemon from the Pokemon Labs, right? That it was! But it seems like this Pokemon has been captured. Perhaps we can use it to our advantage. We do need to have a Pokemon to battle against these lowly acolytes of this Necromancer. Well, it seems like we just need to enter the code into this thing. Anybody have any ideas what the code's gonna be? No, why would we know that? Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and start entering buttons. Just give me a second. I know exactly what to do. Ready? 0, 0, 0, 0. Alright, well, while Alter is doing that, what should we be doing, actually? I think that we should mention the comment question of last time, upon which we asked the viewers if they prefer darkness or not, and I was quite shocked to see that there are very few people who have embraced the light of the Curry Kingdom. It's terrible to see. Yeah, it looked like a lot of people liked the concept of balance between good and evil, that sort of thing. Which, to be fair, is a pretty appealing thing, you know? A little bit of good and a little bit of bad in one's life. True, I suppose, if you are into that. I mean, I personally can't see what the appeal is. But how on earth did Corn defeat the light? That makes no sense. To be fair, it didn't really make much sense to have Corn on there in the first place. Very so. But what should this week's comment question be, Sir Spooky? You are always good at these things. I think that since we caught that shiny Pokemon, we'll ask the people at home what their preferred method of finding shiny Pokemon is. Are there more than one methods of finding these shiny Pokemon? I thought they simply appeared at random. Well, Alter did tell me that there are ways of manipulating that to get the shiny Pokemon you want. So the question this week is going to be, What are people's preferred methods of getting shiny Pokemon? Do you prefer to manipulate the system so that you can get more shiny Pokemon when you want them? Or do you prefer it when shiny Pokemon show up randomly, like a surprise? There's also things like, you know, event Pokemon and like hacking Pokemon into your games, but I imagine that's not going to be as popular. Who on earth would hack the Pokemon game simply to have a different colored Pokemon? That is ridiculous indeed. Alright, you know what, Sir Spooky? I've had time to this. Hold on one moment. Alter, get out of the way! Oh, come on, guys. I almost had it, too. Why do you have to do this to me? Silence, Alter. We don't have all day for you to play with the door handle. The simple sword is more than enough. But now we have this creature. It is apologizing for its rude behavior before, and we shall be using this Garlic Kid creature in order to destroy our enemies. Yeah, so let's take a look at Garlic Kid real quick. It's quite the odd-looking creature, but it seems to have some spunk to it. So it's tolerable, I suppose. And it is justified a warrior to face against the darkness. Quite good indeed. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get out of here, I guess. And it shall punch this opponent square in the face. Much like our new party member. What was it? Sneak, I believe was the name of that rabbit creature. It was, but, you know, while I was busy grinding the heck out of it, I decided to change our rabbit's name to Carbano. It was a reference to Monty Python. Very cool, I guess. Wait, Carbano? You mean the Dread Beast? Why would you do that? Well, because I felt like it. Also, let's take a look at our boys and make sure they're still okay. All of our Pokemon seem to be quite well indeed. Yeah, but for now we got our boys back. We do need to have a little bit more grinding to do before it's time to, you know, actually take on the gym leader, especially with Carbano, who looks very good for all my bloody training I had to do for her. Oh my god, why are you guys here? Stop it! You're not supposed to run away! That thing destroyed everything in my research lab. Lowly Necromancer, we have stopped your vile plans to destroy the world or whatever it was you were planning, and therefore, it is time for you to be put in the ground. Wait, what the heck is he talking about? It's better not to think about it, man, so, you know, put up your dukes, it's time for you to get put down. Alright, so now we have to face Professor Larkspur. Actually, so Spooky, I believe you mean Necromancer Larkspur. But regardless of who he is, it's time to destroy him. This Carbano creature of ours shall annihilate his Pokemon with a contemptuous ease. So I shall be using the Drain Punch technique to destroy this Tanskur. Very well, and Carbano has leveled up once more, and her stats have grown even greater. Her health is quite high, as well as her offensive strength and her speed. Special defense ain't great, but as long as she hits first, it's not that big of a problem. I can't believe you guys managed to defeat me. I'm an adult. How did you do that? Silence, lowly Necromancer. We have bested you in battle. If you don't get out of here right now, I'm going to cut your head off. Oh, I'm fleeing the region. Maybe Team Rocket will hire me in my bald head. Oh. So, Memphis, I'm really surprised that you know, didn't take out or, you know, unalive that man. Well, Sir Spooky, I was going to, but we are on a bit of a time crunch. Therefore, I have decided to allow him to live for now, and perhaps he will just simply die under the sun. That is what necromancers do, is it not? I have no idea, but regardless, we have Garlic Kid. Are we nicknaming this Pokemon anything at all? Well, let's see. I would be calling this creature Sir Punchy. No, that's a bit too childish, isn't it? Sir Fistalot will be the name of this mighty creature. Don't you dare name... Okay, you did actually name our Pokemon that. Oh my lord. Very good indeed. We have a new Pokemon in our reserves if we ever happen to need it. Let us quickly heal our Pokemon and get back to our adventure, for we have lost too much time and we must make up grounds. We shall quickly traverse the next area, using Carbano to defeat any trainers and the whatnot, and then it will be time for the gym. Alright, well, here we are at the next cave that we can go into. I guess that means a new Pokemon. Very much so, and I don't like it. Dude, you literally just saw the darn thing. Yes, but I don't know what it is, and I don't like it. Well, regardless, we need to at least attempt to capture it. So, just do your best job on that. I attempted to, but Carabano said no. Clearly that Pokemon was not worthy to be on our team. Therefore, our rabbit slaughtered it in one blow. Right, anyway, now it's time for Route 16, which means yet another attempt to capture an Ice-type Pokemon. Very much so. Paranabog out on the front lines here. Let's see what it is. It's some sort of bear? Or is it a dog? I think it's supposed to be a polar bear. So maybe you should just throw balls at it. I shall do this. I don't think this creature is strong enough to survive our rabbit. Therefore, I shall throw balls at it, and if it's captured, good for us. If it's not, well, we'll just kill it. Tell me, Alta, how many more attempts to capture Pokemon do we even have in our adventure? Off the top of my head, I know we got Route 14 heading down to the last city. There's going to be probably another route down there, perhaps. Maybe another cave. I would say, roughly, maybe 5 more attempts to capture Pokemon, but I could be very wrong. Very much so, but regardless, we have captured our icy bear creature, and we shall be nicknaming this creature. Let's see. I think I'll simply call you Surfluff, because it's, well, that's what your whole purpose in life is, to be a fluffy creature. Therefore, that will be your name. And right out of the frying pan into the fire, it's time for another Pokemon battle. Very much so, but we have Carabano, and it will destroy whatever we are up against. Be careful, Sir Memphis. This is a fully evolved version of that sheep Pokemon we've seen before. You need to be cautious about this. I will be, says Spooky. Worry not, but trust in Carabano to do all of the damage. Sounds good to me, but you might want to consider taking out that lucky egg we put Carabano on. She's going to hit the level cap soon if we don't. Very much so. I shall be switching into another Pokemon after this, I feel. But while we do need to raise our Pokemon's level just a bit, we don't want to do it too early, lest we reach the cap of level, which will prevent us from bringing Lecarnabo into the Pokemon gym. Verily, my compatriots, it appears that we have made it to Snowpoint Town. As one would expect, it's populated by snowboarders. Yeah, so can we go to the Pokemon Center first? It's very cold up here. I'm not hanging on too well. Hang on, Sir Spooky. Let me pick up this TM here for the move Pluck, and then we shall make our way to the Pokemon Center. That's a lot better, thank you, Sir Memphis. Anytime, Sir Spooky, anytime. So, I believe we do need to train just a smidge more before we head into the gym. Or do we, for that matter? Considering that Hermie, Lady Josephine, and Lady Chihuahua are not going to be much help in this gym, do we need to train them more? I think... that's a hard call there, because yeah, Hermie is not allowed in this gym. She will get one shot by an Ice Beam. Josephine, I'm also somewhat hesitant to put in there, because she has lowered special defense. So, not exactly her cup of tea in this gym either. So we're really down to 4 Pokemon, or like 3.5 really, because Chewy is also weak to being hit with Ice-type moves, but could still be providing some usefulness here and there. So, honestly, I think we put Carabog up front to gain some more XP, because she will be our main Pokemon. Let's train up Carparella just a smidge more, because she's almost leveling up here, and then we'll get going. This lady gave us some rare candies. I don't want to turn into Necrolink Kitty and start spamming rare candies on our Pokemon, but how many did she give us? She gave us 3. I think we use those on, like... let's see how the gym battles go first, and then we'll see how we use those. Sounds like a capital idea, and I was about to say much the same. We shall see how things go, and then we shall see if we use these rare candies or not. By the way, Salter, why do you oppose these rare candies so much? They seem quite useful. It's not that, you know, you can't use them so much as you can't abuse them so much. You know, and this old man's telling us, you know, we got the like trials in this gym. Ability to adapt to different conditions, Pokemon's faith, all that yada yada blah blah. Old man talk. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some gym puzzles, I guess. This guy's gonna teach biting moves to our Pokemon? That could be actually pretty dang useful. Alright, so we have Fire, Ice, Thunder, Poison, Crunch, and Super Fang. What would we teach a Pokemon? I think we need to get rid of Surf on Carparella, and then we can teach her Thunder Fang. Both because she's better at physical attacks, and so we have some coverage there. So, that's definitely going to be what we're going to have to do in the future. Very good. So now we know that that gentleman is there. Good to know. Verily, my good compatriots, I have completed training Carparella. Now she is level 54. Much like most of the rest of the team, except for Lady Josephine, who sadly must wait to gain more power till after this gym. Yeah, not a good idea to bring Josephine in here, so what's the game plan for the actual trainers and things? It seems quite straightforward. I shall lead with Kerbano, and then I shall have them destroy everything in this gym, and we'll sparingly use other Pokemon as we see fit, depending on how things go, and it should be fairly straightforward, all things considered. You need to be careful, Sir Memphis. This is the 7th gym. I say, who is this individual here? Is that Theo? Theo, he's grown like a full foot and more. How on earth did he do that? Did the cold of the mountains do that to him? Quite possibly, quite possibly. And now there's clearly a wizard here, and we must tackle the gym together. Me and Theo together, Knight and Squire together as one. Did Theo become your Squire at some point? I don't remember that happening. Do not worry about it, Sir Spooky. It clearly happened. No need to fret about the small details. Verily, it seems that this is the first of trials, and it seems that we will need to use our strength to move rocks. That does appear to be the case, so what's the plan here? I do not need to think of it too much. I do not need a Pokemon to move the rocks. I have this powered glove. So I shall be moving up north here. Let's see here. Yes, this seems quite simple indeed. Quite simple indeed. I shall simply move these rocks over, and quite easy. Alright, well, you beat the first trial in record time. But now we have to fight the first trainer here. Not a problem whatsoever, for Kerbano will now unleash her true power. For you see, she now possesses the life orb that Sir Alta mentioned before. With it, she shall destroy every Pokemon in her path in a single mighty blow. That's right, and even if she does start taking damage or what have you, she can just use, Drain Punch and gain back most of any damage she's taken. Very much so. I think I shall describe that here. Unfortunately, Kerbano froze, so that's not necessarily good. Confound it! Kerbano, break out of the ice now! Dude, do not do... Kerbano is not a fire-type Pokemon. This is not going to work. This is quite troublesome indeed. I suppose I'll have to switch Pokemon after this attempt, yeah? You are risking everything for a minor flex, dude. Switch Kerbano out now. Aye, very well. I shall send in my more superior dragon, then. Shadow Fire shall burn this creature to ash. Well, it's unfortunate Kerbano didn't get to beat the first trainer, and that actually does highlight a small problem that could occur in this gym. And that is that if Kerbano gets frozen, doesn't really have any method of getting out of frozen, do we? I think we have some berries for that, but yeah, we would have to equip them. And then that would run the risk of, we wouldn't be able to do the thing we were doing. We wouldn't have the ability to, have Kerbano use the Life Orb. Quite the conundrum indeed, and also Shadow Fire cannot be switched here. So, I shall have to simply use Earthquake, which, by the way, Shadow Fire knows Earthquake now, if anyone was curious. That did happen whilst the training occurred. Now knows Earthquake and this Flame Impact technique, making Shadow Fire far more potent. Yeah, it's really useful, but now we've managed to defeat the first trainer, and we can move on to the second trial. Here we have the second trial, which appears to be some sort of maze. Let's see here, which way do we wish to go? My instincts tell me to go to the right here. And apparently they're quite correct. This was a pathetic maze. Dude, I've seen corn mazes harder than that. Yeah, that wasn't that tough, but now we have to fight the second gym trainer. They'll probably be stronger, right? Quite possibly, but they're sending forth that horrible creature from before. I'm not a fan of it, so I'm going to have Caerbano drain punch it in the face. Alright, well, I guess this thing must have bug DNA or something for it to survive that. Hopefully we don't get froze again. Very good indeed. Now it is on to the next Pokemon, and I shall use the Moonblast technique now that we have learned it. This ought to one hit. Indeed it did! Very good indeed, Caerbano. Oh man, it looks like we're outside now. Very much so. The elements pose no threats to us at any point in time. And apparently we need to skate across the ice or something for this next trial. Oh, it's an ice puzzle! I mean, this wasn't that bad, Alter. I think I've seen harder ice puzzles. Spooky, you barely played the Pokemon games, man. You don't know the horror that is ice puzzle. That was pathetically easy. I thought these were supposed to be trials or something. Well, they are, but we're just really good at doing them, I guess. Very good, yeah. So, well, of course, speak of the devil, and he doth appear right in front of us. Caerbano will therefore have to destroy this creature in a single mighty blow. Possibly, but Dunsrap is a tanky one. It's not tanky enough, Alter. Now we are to the trial of faith. Of course, being a noble knight of the Cutted Kingdom, I am full of faith. However, I do believe that I should switch Pokemon here. I shall place Chewy up front, solely that she can gain some experience as well, because I feel like she deserves it. Yeah, probably a good idea there. Oh, please tell me it's not what I think it is. Why does this feel like all of a sudden a repeat of the 4th gym? I don't know, says Spooky. I don't know, but thankfully, this time we know a bit better. Very well, gentlemen. The several failed attempts, I think we finally figured it out. Alright. Should be up thrice, over twice, down once, over twice. Now it's up 4, yes. No, wait, it's up 3, you fool. It's up 3. Yeah, and then it's over 6. Yes, thank you, Suspect. Once, twice, thrice, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Alright, now it's down 1. Down 1. Then it's over twice. Yeah, it's down twice. Up 3. Up 3. Then over 4, and then all the way up. Yes! We made it! We've made it at last! Oh. Falling down that many times really hurt. Alright, we made it, boys. Sir Memphis, you better not lose to this guy after all that. Do not worry, I shall smite him where he stands. Alright, well, he's already starting with an Ice-type Pokemon. Confound it! Why is it every time we wish to use Lady Chewy that the enemy uses these Ice-type Pokemon? That is not fair to her. Here we stand prepared for the final trial here. Our Pokemon are prepared for whatever comes before us. The trial of truth, which we just want to have the battle someone, I suppose. Alright, sounds good to me. Just heal up everybody, then we get going. Sounds like a plan. You know what, I shall keep Lady Chewy up front for now. While it is clear that this gym wishes to defy her and prevent her from gaining any experience here, I will keep doing this regardless, just in case they don't start with a bloody iced Pokemon again. Yeah, I'm actually kind of starting to regret that we got rid of Draining Kiss off of Chewy. She could have used that to heal herself. True enough, but that is neither here nor there. It is time for us to defeat this trainer. Apparently, we cannot use items here, which is strange to me, as we have never used items. Yeah, but what on earth is that? That I don't know. It appears to be some sort of, perhaps an electrical dragon, perhaps. I would have led with, Confused Ray just in case, my man. But apparently that is not a dragon at all. Very much so. Lady Chewy may need to be switched out here, just in case. But for now, I shall use the Confused Ray so that whoever I switch in will have better options against this creature. Alright, but it's going to use Shadow Ball again. Be careful here. Chewy almost bit the dust right there. That was quite the difficult one. I will not deny it. However, I have a theory that perhaps Lady Josephine can face this creature. It is using ghost-type techniques, is it not? Therefore, Lady Josephine can fly over them. That was a good call, but the problem is we kind of forgot to give Josephine back the scope lens. So, she's not as likely to get that critical hit that we would need her to get. Alright, well that is true. However, this Pokemon transforms! Much like the last gym leader's Pokemon did. Yeah, that's kind of weird, but at the same time, doesn't really matter. Josephine's stronger than any bird. She is the mightiest of all birds. Now, what is our next Pokemon we must face? It's Dunsaraf. Confound this creature. Lady Juwai would have been excellent here, but I suppose it will have to go to Carbano. Much as we don't want her to level up anymore, this will be fine. Yeah, I really don't think that Carbano is going to be leveling up here, but that Air Slash could do a lot of damage. That it did. That it did indeed, which is not good. But one strike from the moon should be enough to lay waste to this lowly dragon. Yeah, Carbano might be on a bit of a timer with the whole Life Orb thing. But so long as Carbano hits, she can basically defeat any Pokemon. Is that mother flippin' Pajay? What's that doing up here? That's from the freaking 5th gym. With that weirdo who couldn't beat up a bunch of bugs. Indeed, what on earth is this trainer? I thought this was a Dragon's gym. It is, but this last trainer is clearly trying to wrong-foot us by using different types of Pokemon. Let's not fall for that and just have Carparella use Aqua Tail and take out this last Pokemon. Very good indeed, Sir Spooky, very good indeed. And of course, little Theo, I should say big Theo now, he's here and prepared. Let's see, this will allow us to go back and recuperate our Pokemon and bring a Pokemon capable of Mega Evolution to battle. Well, we do have several of those, so let us go and heal our Pokemon before we continue on, just because of reasons. You mean the reason that, you know, little Chewy nearly bit the dust in that last fight? Silence, Alta. You have cost us 2 Pokemon. I only 1. Therefore, I know what I am doing. Thank you very much. I trusted in Lady Chuai. In fact, we now need to prepare ourselves for the battle. I shall be giving Lady Josephine her usual item here, which is the Scoped Lens, so that she can hit more critical hit techniques. Lady Chuai will not be getting an item, so that she may use the acrobatics technique, perhaps? I think you should keep the citrus berry on Chewy. That way, if she needs to use, you know, acrobatics is good. But we're probably going to be using play rough with her instead, you know? Very much so. And then, of course, Carbano is doing its thing. Should we have Carbano lead the charge and drive deep into enemy territory, perhaps? Alright, so before this battle, should we actually use the rare candies, you think? I suppose there's no harm in it, but who do we use them on? Much as I want to treat everyone equally, don't get me wrong, I think we need to use one on Carbano. Literally the Pokemon that's going to be carrying us through most of this fight. And then we'll give one to Chewy and one Carparella. They're our best bet to fight in this gym. I agree with most of that. However, I would be giving one of these to Shadowfire instead. Also, Lady Chuai is learning the Quiver Dance technique. Quite a good technique. If we were still using special techniques, it would have been quite good indeed. Yeah, it's kind of weird that Chewy was like, is much better at special attack than anything else. Or rather, you know, she gains a lot of special attacking moves, and she started with a nature that's more for special attacks, but her physical attack's so much stronger. Indeed, imagine if things had been reversed. It would have been quite the show indeed. But now it is time for us to battle this lowly gym leader, this castellan of the mountain fortress. Greetings, lowly wizard atop the mountain. I am Sir Memphis, noble knight, heir to the Cutter Kingdom, and I and my troop and mine squire are here to destroy you and cast your body down the side of this mountain. I see. Well, that's quite the bold claim to make, sir. We'll see if you can back any of that up. There is no way in hell you can actually understand what that guy is saying. Well, of course I understand what he's saying. It's not that difficult. What is he saying then? Well, first off, he confirms that he was hired by the mysterious entity that has been trying to destroy us, as one would expect. But he also said something about reinstating the mind control, whatever on earth that's supposed to mean. Sir Memphis, are you okay? It's a lonely goblin! Ah, no, stop, not again. Get back here, you lonely fiend! Void! Alta, what on earth are you doing? That's a goblin! We have to kill it in the name of the Cunning Kingdom and King Karibo! Dude, are you nuts? Do you not realize there's a wizard right there for you and Theo to battle against? What? A lonely wizard? But also a lonely goblin. They're both evil. How do I choose which one to kill first? Dude, you need to focus on the wizard. I will take care of a goblin. You need to take this guy down right now. Very good, Sir Alta. You are a true noble soul. Theo, my squire, to me. We will destroy this trainer here and now. Very well, little wizard. It's time for you to be trounced. Let us see what we're up against here. You have a Dunsaraf and Glavnog, I see. I think a single moonblast shall destroy your Dunsaraf and lay your creature low. Then we can proceed to destroy the rest of your lowly... Oh. Are you actually managed to survive that somehow? That is actually somewhat impressive, but thanks to the splendid foul that is of the little Theo here, your Pokemon is laid to waste. Unfortunately, though, you had Ice Beam as well. So that's not quite as good, but it is something. It is something indeed. Alright, now on to your next Pokemon. And Theo here has a Nucleon creature. Quite interesting indeed. Very well, I shall use Drain Punch on your Glavnog creature and lay it down. Theo, your Pokemon need to improve their defensive powers. You cannot defeat an opponent simply by overpowering them as I do. You must also be prepared for the battle afterwards. You must make sure your Pokemon can survive these attacks. And good, let's see how much damage this does, little Theo. Quite good indeed! Theo, quite good indeed, my boy. You've done phenomenally well so far. Now we are on to his last 3 Pokemon. Alright, well he has a dragon, as one would expect. I shall use the Moonblast and destroy it in a single blow. I highly doubt it can survive this, but it somehow did. But thankfully, its strength hath been weakened. Now, if you could go before them, that would be great, little Theo, although I was hoping you would destroy the dragon and become a true knight of the Cunning Kingdom. But that's alright. You can do it later. Not a problem. And you destroyed them both! Little Theo! Quite good indeed. Although Carabana was now too high a level for the gym, so I might have to switch you out for that. But that's quite alright. Good lord, little Theo, when did you become so potent? Indeed. Alright, let me think about this one here. You know what? One last Moon Blast by Carabano shall prove the death of you, wizard. What? Good lord! Such unkempt hair! Disgusting indeed. Carabano, destroy this lowly creature with your moon powers. Oh lord, you actually survived that. That's quite impressive indeed. But unfortunately for you, your Pokemon are too slow and pathetic for our most illustrious group. The Knights of the Cunning Kingdom have slain yet another wizard. And now we Dude, are you not crazy anymore for a second? So Alta, what happened? What happened? What happened to the battle? Actually, you and Theo managed to defeat the wizard there. So spooky. What? God, no. What? That bastard wizard. He did back to my mind what had been done by the last wizard. He made me think you were a goblin. Oh, Sir Spooky, I'm so sorry. I hope that nothing happened to you while that happened. I'm alright. Okay, it's okay. all that matters is that you managed to defeat the gym leader. And now we're going to get some stuff. Very well, this is the Caustic Breath TM, which is a powerful dragon-type technique that strips away an opponent's defenses. I doubt we can use such a technique, but we have it if we ever need it. But now, it is time for us to receive the Mega Bracelet. A work of foul wizardry indeed, and we're pushing this gentleman off the cliff immediately as he finishes explaining how this works, and everything will be quite good indeed. It is time for us to show off our Pokemon with the metal... okay, Little Theo's getting his Megastone first. I think it should be me, but very well. Well, it's finally time for Shadowfire to get Megastone. So, very cool indeed. Now, our Pokemon have the ability to Mega Evolve. Let's see. Oh, now we have to have our Pokemon with Mega Evolution fight each other to the death. Theo is ready to party, baby. Very good. Clearly, Theo, my noble squire, after his most triumphant battle against the gym leader, wishes to battle us as well. I'm surprised that he did so well, you know, considering we usually beat him pretty bad. Well, that is true, of course, Spooky. Theo has learned quite a bit from his many battles against us, and now, finally, our Pokemon might Mega Evolve to his final, triumphant, dragony form. As well, Metalinks shall do the same. But it doesn't really matter because our Pokemon shall destroy theirs in a single blow regardless. I'm sorry, Theo. Oh. Well, look at that. That doesn't look good at all. Good lord, how did he survive that? Normally, it's a single blow. Apparently, Theo's Pokemon got a lot stronger with that. Very much it did. However, we shall continue to battle with Shadowfire, no matter what he switches into. Alright, but just watch the snow, Sir Memphis. It's not a nothing thing, you know? Our Pokemon will take damage every turn, and we can't really do anything about it because we have no, like, weather moves. Do not worry, says Spooky. I am prepared for this. It's time to switch out our Pokemon and send in Lady Hermie. Oh wait, I accidentally sent in Lady Chihuahua. That was a mistake. Not a problem. I just need to switch a Pokemon again. Not a problem there. Sir Memphis, I think you're still suffering from the effects of whatever the wizard did to you. Quite possibly, but it's alright. I shall send in the right Pokemon this time. Lady Hermie shall destroy this Pokemon in a single blow, as she did in many training battles indeed. Hopefully, not gonna lie, Hermie is taking a lot of damage here, and hopefully Wood Hammer one-shots this thing. I mean, it ought to. It did plenty of times before. It's just a thing that we still wish that Lady Hermie had the Leaf Blade rather than the Hammer, seeing as blades are simply better than hammers, and does less damage to her. Alright, but now we're going to have to switch Pokemon again. Pretty much so, we shall get Shadowfire back in the battle. I would say it is quite nice that we can Mega Evolve our Pokemon, and they won't lose that Mega Evolution the minute we switch our Pokemon out. Yeah, that would be, well, it'd be really annoying, to be honest. So, one good thing, though, is that he did have to waste a turn setting up Swords Dance again. The Shadowfire will take out Metalinks here. Indeed, but I will say, quite an impressive show by the Metalinks, for it survived a Fire-type technique for the first time in its life. So clearly the Mega Evolution was quite good for it. Alright, but now we have to deal with Hero Loon, and this could be difficult. Because normally this is where Chewy does things, but Chewy's hurt. Very much so. But we can send forth Calbano here. Normally, I would wish to send in Lady Josephine. However, with the snow being a thing, I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, definitely not a good idea, but don't worry. Calbano gonna one-shot this Hero Lune. Very much so, Sir Alter, very much so. How many Pokemon does he have left? Actually, Theo still has 2 Pokemon after this. Ah, that's true. He still has that Witch Doctor. As well, he also has a new Eevee of his own. I forgot to mention that. He has an Eevee? Indeed, he does. It's quite the potent Pokemon indeed. But now we need to deal with this creature. I'm thinking Shadowfire can defeat this creature with a single Earthquake technique. Quite possibly. Just hopefully this thing doesn't do too much damage. Didn't do that much, honestly. Very much so, for Shadowfire is simply too potent for this lowly witch doctor. The only thing we need to worry about is, of course, the last Pokemon, though. For in the battle, that little Eevee Pokemon did quite a lot of damage to the gym leader. In fact, I hesitate to say this, of course. However, I will say that this Nucleon creature actually stole a bit of the show. It truly did, for it actually did more damage to the gym leader than we did. Are you sure this is a smart idea? It is indeed, for the nuclear Pokemon are still weak to being thrown into the ground for it to erupt around them. Yeah, though it could have been tricky, but thankfully Shadowfire is a speed demon. And we once again defeat Theo. But it was a much better fight than we've seen him do ever. Yes, indeed. And Theo is thankfully, well, he does seem in good spirits, but at the same time, you know, he does seem to still be straining under the fact that he's never defeated us. But Theo is becoming stronger every time. I'm sorry, why are you still here? I forget exactly, why are you still here, wizard? And now let us call the professor for whatever reason. Theo was just to tell him we have our Mega Evolutions, which is, it is nice, I suppose. Now he knows that we can Mega Evolve, not that we really need to tell him anything. But our professor is coming right over in a moment, I guess. Yeah, I mean, he does want to see our growth, which, it's kind of funny considering what, in our Pokedex, we only have, what, 30-something Pokemon? 37, in fact. Alright, well, looks good, boys. Another good day of Pokemoning, and I think it's about time to wrap up for today, isn't it? Indeed, Sir Alter, it is time to wrap up for today. Next time, we'll begin the next to last training session of our Pokemon, as it is time to prepare for the 8th and final gym. Yeah, and that's going to be my job to make sure our Pokemon are prepared for that fight. But anyway, thank you everyone at home for watching today's episode as always. And, you know, let us know in the comments what you thought of today's episode. Consider answering our comment question and things of that nature. And next time, we'll be training up our Pokemon one more time. And, Alter, what's the next level cap, actually? I'd have to check. I want to say 62, maybe? It's not too much higher, but it's somewhere between 57 and 62. Very well, then. Not too much training to do, but just enough to keep us on our toes. So anyway, once more, my lords and ladies. Tune in to our next series of adventures where we shall be taking on the training, the calm before the storm of the final gym.
Catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all!